DUT is crashing, and everyone thinks this is the end. But what if 2026 is about to flip the entire story upside down? Okay, let's just jump right into it, because the fear, uncertainty, and doubt around Polkadot right now, it's real. I mean, the price chart has been absolutely brutal, and if you're a holder, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the big question is this it? Is this the end of the road, or is this just a really painful stop on the way to something much, much bigger? Let's just put the number out there so we can face it head on. A 96% drop from its all-time high. I mean, that is just a catastrophic fall, no two ways about it. And it's so easy to look at a number like that and just write the whole project off as finished. But numbers like this, they rarely tell the whole story. So what is really going on? Is Polkadot actually a failed project? Is the tech fundamentally broken? Well, the answer to that is a hard no. The real reason for this constant downward pressure on the price is actually a ghost from Polkadot's past. It's an old economic design flaw that's finally being dealt with. This slide right here, this pinpoints the exact source of all the pain. See, back in the 2021 bull run, to get a spot on the network, a parachain slot, projects had to lock up a ton of DOT for almost 2 years. Well, guess what? Those 2-year leases are expiring now. All that locked DOT is being returned to early supporters, and many of them are cashing out. It's created this constant waterfall of selling that has literally nothing to do with how healthy Polkadot is today. So, and this is the most crucial part to understand, this is not a sign of failure. It is the painful but totally necessary end of Polkadot 1.0's economic model. The network is essentially just paying off its old debt. And once that debt is cleared, the runway is clear for a completely new and way stronger system to take off. And that brings us to the solution. Let's start with the tech side, because Polkadot isn't just applying a few patches here and there. No, they are completely rebuilding the entire engine from the ground up. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way, the parachain auctions. Super expensive, you're locked in for 2 years, and only a few could even afford to play. On the right, you have the future, Agile Coretime. Honestly, the best analogy is it's like going from having to lease an entire office building for 2 years to just being able to rent a desk by the hour. It's flexible, it's efficient, and it throws the doors wide open for everyone. And this multi-core computer idea is just the perfect way to grasp it. Before, you had to reserve an entire processor core for yourself for 2 whole years, whether you used it or not. Now, with Agile Coretime, Polkadot's processing power just becomes this flexible resource that anyone can tap into on demand, and you only pay for exactly what you use. It's a total game changer, going from forced scarcity to true abundance. So if Agile Coretime is the new hardware, then Jam is the revolutionary new operating system that's going to run on it. The join, accumulate machine, this is the end game. This is the ultimate vision for Polkadot coming to life. It turns the whole network into one single global supercomputer that anyone can use. And what can this new supercomputer do? Well, how about this number? A theoretical capacity of 1 million transactions per second. Let that sink in. We're not talking about a small improvement here. This is a quantum leap in power and scale that could let Polkadot handle things that most other blockchains can only dream about. But look, world-class technology doesn't mean a thing if your economics are broken, right? And that's why this second part of the solution is so important. Polkadot isn't just upgrading the tech, it's completely hardening the economics of the DOT token itself. And this comparison just says it all. Polkadot is shifting from the old model, an unlimited supply, constantly inflating, to a brand new model with a fixed, hard cap of 2.1 billion DOT. It's a deliberate move from an inflationary currency to one that is designed for scarcity and to hold its value over the long term. And this isn't some vague someday plan. There's a date. You can mark your calendars, March 14th, 2026. They're calling it the Pi Day Halving. This is the day the new economic engine officially fires up and the creation of new DOT gets drastically cut for the very first time. And just look at the difference this is going to make. The inflation rate is set to be slashed by more than half, dropping from about 7.5% down to just 3.3%. This is a massive reduction in new supply hitting the market, and it's designed to completely change the supply and demand dynamics for DOT. Okay, so we've got a technical revolution and an economic revolution on the way. That's great, but is anyone actually using Polkadot today? Well, here's the thing. If you ignore the scary price chart and look at what's happening on the ground, you'll find an ecosystem that isn't just surviving this bear market, it's actually accelerating. You know, this number right here, might be one of the most bullish signals in all of crypto. Over 750 developers are actively coding and building on Polkadot every single week. To have that kind of loyalty from the builders, the people who actually know the tech during a 96% crash, that tells you they believe in what they're building. And they are building some incredible things. I mean, you've got stuff like Hydration's Omnipool, this super efficient DeFi hub. You've got Hyperbridge, which is connecting Polkadot to the rest of the crypto universe. And you have user-friendly apps like the Rains wallet that are aiming for mass adoption right around the time these big upgrades go live. The innovation is happening right now, completely under the radar. Okay, so this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. We've looked at the problem, the technical fix, the economic fix, and the proof that the ecosystem is alive and well. Now, let's connect those dots and talk about what this all could mean for the price. I mean, this is the question, right? This is what everyone wants to know. Once all that old selling pressure from the crowd loans finally disappears, the tech gets its supercomputer upgrade, and the token itself becomes a scarce asset, what is the real potential value of DOT? Alright, so based on analysis from a few different sources, here are some of the potential scenarios for 2026. You can see, even in a bear market scenario, there's room for recovery. The base case puts DOT back firmly into the double digits, and a successful bull case, well, that suggests a price north of $36, which would reflect a successful rollout of all these massive changes. This quote from a really deep research report just sums it all up perfectly. The market is pricing Polkadot like it's a failed project, but the fundamentals, they're screaming that it's a sleeping giant, and that gap between perception and reality is where opportunity lives. So let's just put a bow on this. What feels like a death spiral right now is actually the network purging itself of an old, broken system. It's clearing out all the old debt to make way for the 2026 upgrades, which can then launch from a clean, solid foundation. It's not an ending, it's setting the stage for a brand new beginning. And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. When you have a project that is about to bring a decentralized supercomputer online, while at the same time turning its native token into a scarce hard asset, you really have to ask yourself, is this the most undervalued, asymmetric opportunity in the entire market for the next cycle? If you want clear crypto updates that actually make sense, make sure you subscribe right now.